What's up, y'all? It's your boy checking in for Black Truth News. Happy 2019 to everyone. Just want to talk about a couple things that's going on in the news. First and foremost, I saw a tape. Well, I actually saw people on Facebook talking about a girl getting raped, and me being nosy and being no better than the rest of our society, I wanted to check it out. And in the midst of checking it out, I saw it, and you know, dude was bogus. He was bogus. But I don't know. People say it shouldn't be no buts. I'm actually calling somebody in Atlanta.
Hi, happy MLK Day, babe.
Happy, I was one of the few people that acknowledged what his real birthday was. A lot of people celebrated because they get the day off. But his damn birthday was last week. How you doing, babe?
Right. Great. No complaints.
That's good to hear. Ain't nobody gonna listen if you complain anyway.
Huh?
I say ain't nobody gonna listen if you complain anyway.
Nah, I guess so. You wouldn't listen?
Yeah, I care too. I was gonna say nobody ain't gonna care, but I care.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, how was your day?
It was cool. It was cool. I'm sitting up here. I was watching. I'm actually making a video to post.
What kind of video you sit up in the house later?
You know what is it called? A vlog. I do it like
A vlog? Mm-hmm.
I do it very rarely. I should do it more. But I was talking about the chick who got raped in Atlanta.
The chick who got raped in Atlanta?
Did you hear about that?
No.
So it was some chick who was on Facebook Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was in the club while she was on live. And some dude fucked her in the club on live. And I couldn't say he fucked her in the club. He raped her in the club while she was on live. So basically, she got raped on Facebook Live in the club in Atlanta.
Now, wait a minute now. She's willingly on live, right?
She's on live.
Willingly.
Yeah, she's on live. And keep in mind, because I was like watching the game yesterday and, during halftime scrolling and people people leaving their opinion. And I'm like, when you see a couple people, you kind of curious, like, what the fuck they talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what happened? So, I saw somebody else on Twitter. They put, her name out there. So I go on there. So keep in mind, not only is she's on Facebook Live willingly, she's on Facebook Live with the dude way prior to the incident happens. So she's comfortable with the dude, right? And I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but they said that the dude slipped something in her drink, right? So the thing was, they said she was drugged and raped. Now, the shit crazy. So if you go on her page, the video with her dancing with the dude, because she has first of all, she's not from what I heard first, she's not from there. Because in the video, she's telling dude she's from out of town. I think it's her birthday. I'm gathering, you know how the comments be popping up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gathering all this from her conversation with him and the thing popping up. So she's there, but she lit though. She drinking, and I heard people saying, well, that's what made me look at the video, because some people like, well, how's the broad gonna say she don't drink and smoke, but she taking drinks from the nigga? She got the drink from the nigga. He put something in the motherfucker. Now this is just my. I'm gonna say allegedly because I didn't see it. I'm watching the video and people were like, "Oh, you see her," and I'm like, "You see?" Now they was like, "You see him put it in there," and I'm like, "I ain't see shit." You know what I'm saying? So supposedly put it in there, and I was talking to somebody else about it. They was like, "Well, her speech started slurring." I'm like, "Shit, if you get real drunk, your speech gonna slur." You know what I'm
For
saying?
real? Uh-huh.
So I'm like, but anyway, I'm just riding with the masses to say, okay, put something in her drink. But anyway, she dancing on him. Now, not that this matter, because some people will say, but in my opinion, I think it do. If this is my daughter, right? I'm just gonna phrase it this way. You know what I'm saying? If this is
I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
if this is our daughter, and she taking her ass out the house with this little skirt on, right, to the club, and I see her. Now, if I don't see her, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not. I guess they would call this victim shaming. Like a motherfucker told me,
It
well,
is.
you
It
know,
is.
you know,
So,
So these motherfuckers like it don't matter if she's completely naked, right? You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And I agree with them. I agree with you. I agree with them. The dude was
Don't be
bogus,
saying that on the vlog.
right? I'm recording this while I'm talking to you. So I'm on my iPad. I'm on my iPad recording, but you on the phone, right? But I'm gonna say this here. I totally agree. Dude is savage, right? He's fucking bogus. You know what I'm saying? Because he's comfortable. I mean, she's comfortable and whatever she got on, that's fine. But I'm just saying that I don't know. If it was my daughter, I would told her, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck is you
Well,
doing?
she's out of town. She's not from Atlanta, so nobody. And I'm sure she's grown, so you can't tell anybody how to dress. And again, it does not matter if she was naked. She's not asking to be violated and not asking to be drugged.
Agreed. Okay, so we got that out the way. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna apologize for that. I think it is victim shaming. I think dude bogus, and I agree with you guys. But it's just me looking at it from different angles based on our society and how people should be aware. It doesn't excuse people behavior towards other people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
But there needs to be a conversation about education as far as educating women and men about accepting beverages from people they don't know. If a guy or girl wants to buy you a drink, you need to go with them to the bar and get it, and you need to carry it.
Well, I'm gonna say this to go back with the apparel, whatever the case may be, and if for the sake of me maybe posting this, I'm gonna call you Mrs. C. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. It's just like you going in the battlefield with no protective armor and wonder why you got shot. That's how I look at it. It's like, nah, she didn't ask for it. But the perception of it, it's the same way like the Me Too movement. It's the same way like a woman coming in the office dressing provocative every day and people making passes at her or people hitting on her. Of course she does not deserve it. Of course this is sexual harassment. But the perception of it, it lends itself to her may being more prone to this happening than someone who will dress more conservative. Now, if that's victim shaming, so be it. But perception and reality is two different things. And it goes for men also too. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same way as a dude going into a job interview or going someplace dressed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This is the same way, that's the same way like being judged and stereotyped by black dudes having braids or saggy pants. You know what I'm saying? Or things, so I'm not saying that she deserved this or victim shaming. I'm just saying that I'm just presenting a scenario of me watching it and like, somebody saying something about it or whatever the case may be. Like when you was telling me setting a better example for your sister. You understand what I'm saying? Things that in the nature. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at it from that perspective. Now listen, this one the shit get murky. So when you on her page, she has her live feeds, but I think they cut it off, the actual incident of her screwing her, right? Of him doing this. So if you go, you know how you read the comments. So I went to another post she had made, and I was reading the comments, and somebody put the actual video of it actually happening in the comments. And dude was foul as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, he in the club. Like, all during the other live videos, he's standing behind her, he kissing her on the neck, and you know what I'm saying? It's normal shit that happens when people are intoxicated and maybe feeling each other, but they don't give you right to fucking take some fucking sex from them or somebody. You know what I'm saying? But he's in the club. He's in. Huh?
That does not give you a right to fuck her.
At all. And listen, he's in the club. She's in the club. He's fucking her on the dance floor. She's saying, help me. Help me. And people are recording this. Some chick or some dude come tap her on the shoulder, like put their hand on their shoulder. I don't know if they say you okay or what, but they don't stop it. She's saying like, help me. And she's like saying, help me and stop. Or, she's saying it gets like rape shit after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like even if, from a dude perspective, this is my whole point right here. This one shit, this is how he becomes a creep or this and the other. Even if you're in a situation where you with a woman and y'all intoxicated and you may get signals that she's feeling you. You may get signals that she might want to give you some sex. If a chick is telling you, help me and all this, nigga, you raping her.
Well, she's doing it from the back, right? So he's not saying that she's seen that. Is that correct?
Right. Her head is down, and they on the dance floor. So, and it's mad. Huh?
They're on the dance floor?
Nigga, they on the dance floor. They've been through this is what I'm trying to tell you. He's fucking her on the dance floor. People are recording her. They didn't go in the washroom or shit like this. They are on it. He's fucking on the dance floor. Her titties is out.
Oh.
In ATL. This is why you use Mrs. ATL Diva via East Coast. So I'm just like, did you hear about this? You know what I'm saying? So he's banging her on the floor. Like all through prior to that, she has her phone on live. Now, I don't know if the phone's on the floor. I don't know the position of the phone, but you can see her face. Like when it first come on, she's like you know, she's moaning and like it's like she's having sex. You know what I'm saying? But then she's like, "Help me," and help me. But you could tell she's like intoxicated, this and the other. And that video was like maybe I say 6 minutes, maybe 8 minutes long. So he's banging her, and people, you see people like off to the side, with their phones out, etc. And you like, what the fuck? The weirdest shit in the world is happening in our society that people like. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm in a vicinity of them in a club the whole night, right, and I see them together, right, prior to the rape, if it happens, like especially if I can't hear her crying out like this here, well maybe I would have walked towards it because you like a train wreck or whatever. People like train wrecks, so because the person I was talking to, they would have stopped it, and I was like, I wouldn't done shit because I would have probably thought they was together, based on the fact, that, huh?
I would have stopped it.
That's what the person said too. Like, but I wouldn't know, like, from the outside. Like, if I'm right there and see her,
they're together or not, that is indecent. And me, as a woman, I gotta protect my sister. I have to be my sister's keeper. I cannot let her go out like that in the middle of a club. You crazy. If you agreeing to this, I cannot let you do that. Because it's people like that makes it bad and makes that type of activity and behavior acceptable for other women. And it cannot go down in my presence. Y'all gonna have to leave. If you want to do that, y'all gonna have to leave. But I would hope, my intuition would just tell me that she would not want to do that. I don't care what she looked like, what she dressed like. Most women want to engage in sexual activity in a more caring way. Even some things you ain't gonna be able to do with a prostitute. Sometimes they got boundaries too.
right?
So I would have to stop it. It could not go down. I don't care if she wanted to do it or not. It could not happen. So as a man, and you talking about if that's your daughter, and you saw it happening, and you're thinking she might want it, like, how are you talking about her clothing, but then you said if you was in the club, you would be, and if you saw it, you wouldn't stop it. To me, now you're being hypocritical.
I'm saying I would have thought they was together.
It doesn't matter. Check your man. Just like I would check her as a woman, check your man. Check your fellow brother and be like, dog, don't do this to her like that in here.
You know what?
Don't treat her.
You know what? I'm going to say that shit you just said is profound. And honestly, I didn't even think of it in that perspective. To be honest with you. I just thought of it from the perspective of me minding my business. Like, it's
That's
just.
the problem. People always mind their business. And in the black community, we're taught to mind our business. But sometimes we got to check each other. We are each other's business too. And in the meantime, while you minding your business and everybody else minding their business, and they putting it on Facebook, IG, whatever, she's getting raped. She's being violated amongst her own people. So it might as well have been a white man doing it in front of a whole bunch of niggas. Either way, the people around didn't give a fuck about her. Men and women.
I'm going to say this
I
here.
know I want to put men.
I'm going to say this here. I have no rebuttal to that. No, I mean, the way you just described it, if I had any ideas of not posting it, that shit you just said there was profound enough for it to be shared and be put out there. And that shit was not only for other people, but for me also too, because I'm part of that, you know, and I don't, um, I'm not gonna sit up here and rationalize my ignorance because it's the same way with me. Just to hop on that, like if I see somebody, a couple, and a dude fighting his girl, I'm not gonna get in it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I done saw incidents. I done saw incidents where that shit done turned left. You know, like you remember we saw the people in the gas station, and he get to beating on this girl, and you come out and be like, it's the same way with fucking like Poetic Justice. Janet going, but that's her friend. But I'm just saying, and you ran over, I would have stopped you like, man, you ain't got shit to do with that. Because if he hit you, then I'm getting in it, and then we in a whole bunch of shit, and we got them it getting shot at, and fucking shit. She gonna go home with him after that black eye. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the same incident. I agree with you on your perspective on that. But I have saw incidents like that where you done got into shit, the female go with them and do shit, and you done got somebody business that you didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't put yourself in a position, and she gonna end up with this nigga anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective on that. But what you just described, it was more of a, it was more, it was more not necessarily, because I still agree with what I just said with the relationship thing. I think that right there was more of a humane thing. What you just said is, regardless of the circumstances, if they came together, it's more of a decency thing. Like, hold on, man.
Yeah.
Take your girl. At least go in the fucking bathroom and fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all on the middle of the floor. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, but then again, look at the women. You know, look at the women, goddammit, who, you know, go up to the VIP section with stars and fucking look at Tupac. Tupac got with his rape case, the chick sucked him off on the dance floor in the VIP. You know what I'm saying? Then she go off. Then she go to the fucking room with the man. That's when she said she got raped when they went to the room, you know, like another night. But she ain't never said nothing about or denied that she, you know, gave him oral. You know what I'm saying, on the dance floor. You know? So, I mean.
And that was the days before cell phones, really. You know, we're really recording and, you know, all of that. But that is why men have to use the head on top of their shoulders instead of the head in their pants.
No, I mean.
Because you can end up in a situation like that. And he had to spend a lot of money on lawyers for some head.
Right. But no, just fucking with the wrong chick. Because she fucking went and said that, you know, after willingly going to the room with him, you know, she said, you know, she didn't have encounters with the man. And then after a while, she going to go to the room and said that he allowed her to get raped or he raped her. So just messing with the wrong chick. Like, it goes back to the decency thing. He should have been like, okay, what type of chick I'm fucking with if she gonna just give me brain on the floor like this here? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but to keep it all the way funky, niggas like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is savage. And it's more savage now than ever. Like, nigga was savage. I was like, shit, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, the latter part of the video, he's, like, it kind of blanks out or some shit, and then he goes into, it's like a staircase. And he's, you know, he's doing it in. And it's like, it ain't the club no more. And she's like, you know, she started saying, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it's not really.
She's saying, okay, what, like tell him that's enough?
yeah, it's kind of like hard to describe. You know what I'm saying? I guess she's kind of like at the point now. She like not accepting, but she like stop and and I don't know how they got there. Because it's kind of like blank and you see the camera moving or whatever, and then next thing he's in the staircase. But at that point, it's like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like on her page, too, is like she made a post and be like, "Stop with the call and text. I'm okay. I'm just need time to gather myself." And she put, "I'm okay." And I guess her family and friends were like, well, we've been calling and texting you, this and the other. And I'm like,
and her friends and people that know her, because now this thing went viral and you out here looking crazy. But are you okay? Because if they feel like they know her and she would have never done anything like that without being under the influence of something, they really want to know if she okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing about it is that I don't know how the fuck he got there, and I don't know how they got to the staircase. But where our point was is that she wasn't like, she was just saying help me, but she wasn't physically struggling. And I guess if you under the influence, especially if you got fucking drug, it's hard to physically fight. It's hard to fight physically a nigga off anyway. But I'm just saying,
right.
If she's fucking stoned, it's kind of hard. She's just kind of like saying this, and I'm like, but I don't know, man. It's just like the shit was I don't know. My shock value was below zero. Nothing fucking shocks me in this world. A lot of people, oh, this sad, this horrific, and you know what I'm saying? More, I'm not able to tolerate the fucking the videos of the police just shooting motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I don't like watching those. The Gardner shit when they choked them out and all that. But like you said, this is on par with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is
#protect our black women. We are the least protected in this country.
You think so?
We are the most disrespected, least protected species in this country.
Speak on it.
People will send you to jail for hitting a dog before they will send you to jail for violating a black woman. Protect the black woman.
So.
Period.
I don't know. I think if you are in a domestic dispute with a black woman, especially a black man, he's gonna go to jail. You don't think so?
But if you are in that still goes back to the whole point. Respect her. Do you got to put your hands on her? If y'all are having a disagreement, does it require physical abuse?
Honestly, never been in that vein to justify or rationalize hitting a woman of any race, of any man or this and the other. I'm definitely not with that. I am I'm a product of that. That shit went on in my household. So I'm sensitive to that. You know what I'm saying? And to children who come up in that shit, that shit not cool. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And I have been put in positions where I have not saying justified, but been verbally and physically been put in a position by women who've done that to me, and I have not retired. It just don't feel, I'm a big nigga. That shit don't, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather hit a nigga than,
Yes.
so, I have been assaulted verbally and physically by women and I haven't touched them. So that's not, that's good. I always tell people it's the last time and this is just, the last time I ever touched was in third grade. And I, um, I don't know if she spit on me or what she did. It's the last time I ever touched a girl in my life in third grade. And I got suspended. And we didn't fight. I just hit her or pushed her back. That's the last time. So, that's my,
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank God I didn't hit her in the third grade.
Thank God that was the first and only time that you did not continue that into your adulthood and into your relationships. And yes, people will provoke you. You know, women that have grown up in violent households or people that just need love and seek love in that way, they will provoke because they feel like that's love. But yeah, you always have the choice to walk away. Even if you are getting hit on, beat on, you have the choice to walk away because you are the stronger, dominant gender. So yeah, you can walk away.
Yeah, I mean that's not cool whatsoever. I don't like, you know what I'm saying.
And even with the situation that we saw, she kept following him. He kept leaving. She kept following him, but he kept walking away. She ended up getting in her car and leaving on her own.
Who?
He did not hit her.
Oh, yeah. Now hold on now. I am a big component of defending yourself. Females will hurt you. I believe in a shake up or no, hold your ass back. You finna go get a knife and do no, you're not finna kill me. Females will kill a nigga too now.
For sure.
Yeah, so yeah, you're not just finna I'll leave your house or I'll leave the vicinity like do what we saw. Yeah, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? This is another Pac line said, well, I'd rather be a man and leave your house than he was saying that they hit you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with that. I'm a real one, so I'm not in no that's bitch shit. You having an argument and you just smack your girl or this and she getting flipped at the mouth. I mean, what black woman don't get flipped at the mouth? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, come on. So I mean, that's a different circumstances, but did you see the shit? It was some shit in Planet Fitness. A girl was attacking an employee. You saw that?
No.
Yeah. She was attacking an employee and going crazy. And he ain't even hit her or whatever. He was just like, getting out of, you know what I'm saying? But she was like throwing shit, the shit that be all at the desk on the, you know what I'm saying, when you go in the gym. And she was throwing shit at him. She was just going crazy. But he did a good job of restraining. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, when she come and attack, he was just like, pushing her off of him because she was attacking him. You know what I'm saying? Like she was really coming in. So he did a good job with that. But yeah, that's another story. So, just to circle back on this, and I think you made a great point, and I have been recording this, and you've been incredible. I think the shit you said was the most profound shit, right there when you was talking about decency and being humane. I think that's different from the relationship. I want to harp it back on that because right now, you know how we talk, so we are already in 34 minutes. I doubt if I put all this on there, but I definitely want to catch that clip because that was profound. That made me look at it from a different perspective, and that's really having love and for our brothers and sisters, and a lot of us
and compassion. Because you would want someone to protect your daughter, your sister, your niece in that way.
Right.
You would not want them standing all around and watching her, being violated, whether she agreed to it or not. Like, there's a time and a place for everything, and this ain't the place for y'all to be fucking in the middle of the club.
Right.
So check on her and be like, are you okay? You good? And if you are, y'all need to take that on. And if you're not, the police.
I mean, the way you said
none of this is right. Huh?
the way you said it was like what you just said there. That is the proper thing because I was looking at it like you saying or looking at it from the perspective like approaching him like, man, stop, nigga, woo woo. With from a man perspective, but when you say that, the first thing is,
I mean, you gotta check your brother, and I have to check my sister.
right.
We are all responsible for one another. This is the human race, and we are human beings, and we are on this earth to help and protect each other. And as it stands, as Black people, we've already have been disrespected. Black women have been getting raped since slavery. Like, this has to stop. Like, we don't need to be doing this in our own community. You don't need to be disrespecting her. If she agreed to this, don't do that here. And if she didn't agree to it, you are fucked up. And now you should get fucked up. Because you want some crazy shit right now.
Right now,
and girl, where are your friends? Where are your, who are you here with?
That's what that was one of the most consistent things throughout the comments was like, what the fuck is her friends and family like? First of all, if she out of town, I know she came with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Everybody's like, where the fuck her friends at? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I don't know what was going on with that situation. Like, what I'm saying? Motherfucker was off to the side recording, and it was like, hold on, man. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? But,
But that's another thing. Everybody's seeing what's going on, and obviously the friends are not there, checking on her, protecting her. So at that point, she got to be my friend, or she got to be my sister, because I have to stop that. Like, it ain't fun for me to be recording it and putting it on live and showing the world what I'm seeing in the club.
Is that
that ain't cute.
Yeah, that shit crazy. Like, that shit there, I'm not from that era, man. That's why my shit be low, my social media. Like, I'm not, like the time I'm more conscious of it, of doing it now, because I'll be trying to have a more social presence. But even then, it feels awkward if nobody. I'm like not cut from that cloth of very recording everything. But even that, but beyond acts, like I used to hate when motherfuckers be like recording dope fiends and shit. Like that shit ain't cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, degrading people. Right, you know what I'm saying? Putting people doing.
And you know that they are making a bad decision right now because they are under the influence of something that is affecting their behavior and their thought process.
Yeah, but that shit what was going on down there, man. It was like, I was just wondering, did you see it? I think, I don't know when it happened, but, it was kind of like, and I haven't been on Facebook or social media today, so I'm assuming that it's probably picked up steam. You know what I'm saying? And
and I haven't been on social media today either, and I'm hardly ever on Facebook.
Yeah, it was some Facebook shit, and I think some people started sharing it on Twitter and things of that nature, and it's probably, you know how that go. By the end of the week, the shit will probably be a national story if it pick up enough steam. Or it may not, as based on what you're saying, with the lack of publicity towards black women and the violation of black women. Some people might just
that is very true that it may not, but I hope that it is for sure picked up in our community.
Yeah.
Because that cannot be okay. That type of behavior is unacceptable. And black men, black women need to understand that that is not okay. That you cannot be in the club allegedly drugging people and violating them. It's not okay. So yeah, it needs attention.
Yeah, that's why we got
you. Need consequences.
That's why we got you on the phone, man. We got the lovely Miss C on the phone. She's down in Atlanta, and she's giving her point of view, and it's a very profound perspective, man. And you know, I appreciate you talking about it. And you know, I'm gonna splice this up and putting some clips on it, and I probably stop this particular one, or I don't know, cause this shit may keep going on. If I'm talking to you, this shit, it'll fucking be 10 o'clock and we be on some other. But before we get into our, you know, anything personal, you know what I'm saying, I'll cut it off. But what I'm saying is that just the gold thing. You heard, remember I told you, remember you was asking me, you said about the Badu and Nas concert right down there, right? And you remember I was telling you
what?
The Erykah Badu concert. So you saw what happened when she was in Chicago?
No, what happened? God, apparently I have not been on social media.
Yeah, you slipping. You know if you miss 24 to 48 hours, the whole world go past you if you're not on social media, or it just in general.
A lot is going on, and I had my head. You know what? I was not on social media because I had my head in the book.
Hey.
So all of this stuff that you're talking about was not happening in the books that I was reading.
And you know what though? The shit you own is more fucking relevant. The shit I'm talking about is garbage. You know, this shit, you know, obviously, you know, with that happening with old girl in the club, that shit relevant. But then again, all these motherfuckers recording it and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? It's garbage because it could have been prevented or at least halted. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker in the club. But,
right.
You know, I told you, remember you was asking me, you know, when Badu coming to Chicago, and I was like, well, she here tonight. So she come to she come to Chicago and she get on stage and she say, she tell motherfuckers that they should have love and compassion for R. Kelly, and they booed her ass off the stage.
In Chicago, they booed her off the stage?
In Chicago.
Wow.
In his home city.
Wow. So y'all ain't got no love for him either, huh?
It ain't y'all. Don't put me in that. I've been, you know what, and this will be a perfect time to kind of address it because I've been steering away from that shit. I kind of gave you, I think me and you talked about it, you know what I'm saying? And you the first person to put me on the fucking, if you wouldn't told me about the shit coming on, the surviving shit, I wouldn't watch. You know I don't watch TV. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't basketball or some shit like that, I'm not finna turn no TV on. So you the first person to put me on that shit. But, well, you know, TMZ had put it on there. You know, she didn't technically get booed off the stage, but she got booed, and the shit wasn't right afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It's like motherfuckers won't really vibing with her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they showed the whole clip of her leaving the stage, but she definitely got booed like a motherfucker because she was talking about showing compassion, and she said something like, I didn't get the whole thing of. She said, "Well, what if those victims?" I don't know what. I don't want to fucking misquote her, but I don't know if she said that they started singing and or they did some shit. I guess she was. I don't know. This is definitely an assumption instead of an inference. If she's saying because he was violated or something, and then he started singing, would they treat the victim the same way? And they really started booing her ass. You know what I'm saying? And this Badu. So I don't know. To say y'all don't fuck with him. I fucks with Kells just as much as I fuck with him before all the allegations. I mean,
you said you fuck with him just as much?
Right, because I didn't have that much fucking profound respect or admiration for him as a human being prior to all this coming out as much as I have now. It's just always been me liking his music. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, to me, when the shit was coming out with the motherfucker saying when they say he's marrying Aaliyah and all this, I'm like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some shit been wrong with the motherfucker. And it's been wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? But he had the money to beat his case. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
That's what rules in our fucking country, unfortunately. You can fucking get away with shit. If you got the attorneys, you can get away with literally murder in our country. You know what I'm saying? If you got the money and the cachet to get over with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first and foremost thing. It's like, I've been neutral because I don't want to get into this whole, oh, you justifying this or you supporting this. I listen to his music. I love his music. I think he's the greatest R&B singer ever. And I'm not gonna, that's not, my opinion is not gonna change that. Did the motherfucker got a problem? Yes. Without a doubt, he got a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? So, would me stop listening to his music solve his problem? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my perspective.
But maybe people stop patronizing him and affect his pockets. Maybe that would get his attention, and maybe he would go seek some help and get professional help to cure his problem or to help him at least not do some of the things that he is doing.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. Would him getting help then would be more a result of him being destitute or because he want to get help? Motherfucker seeking help.
He needs help because he wants to get help.
Right, but so listen though. If you affect his pockets and people boycott him to the point where nobody's fucking with him and he's not making no money, and the resolution is, look, would y'all start supporting me, or would the support, help if I get help? And only he's making that decision because he needs the support, not because he wants to help. So I don't understand what that be. And so let's just say this. Let's say all that occurs. People boycott him.
He just got dropped from RCA.
Right.
So that's a start right there.
Well, yeah, but they was fucking him all the time anyway, and it wasn't like the label was helping them anymore. Cause you know what I'm saying? Shit, people boycotting them, etc. But I'm just gonna go off your theory, and I'm saying this to get your perspective on it.
Are you asking me, should he get help because people are boycotting him, or should he get help when he wants to get help? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just going to go along with that scenario. I'm going to go along with people boycott him. People stop listening to his music. His pockets get affected to the point where he's broke. And from reports, he's fucked up already. But he's broke.
Right.
And he sees the light because, as you would say, people not supporting him because he needs help. He gets help, and people see that he's, he's getting help and he's making an attempt to get better, and it's a PR blitz around him getting better, and the tide changes, and people start supporting him because he got help, and he's put back in that position where his popularity comes up and his pockets come back up. The fact that the base of him getting help was based on him not supporting him, I think he may refrain back to what the fuck he was doing at first when he get back in that position, because he never wanted to get back right anyway. It was just the fact that he was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So
unfortunately, he should not be allowed to get back into that position. He should never be allowed to be on the pedestal that he was on.
I disagree with that.
So even if he gets help, comes back, start producing, making music again. Well, here's the thing. No matter what I say, he's probably not ever going to get back on that level.
True.
So even if I said everybody deserves a second chance, even if I said that, his violations, his actions have hurt too many people, and it's too broadly known now. So he is not going to be the R. Kelly of 12 play days as far as stature and money is concerned. He's not going to get back there. But he needs to get help because he needs to acknowledge the hurt and the mental and emotional trauma that these people, his victims, are going to have to live with for the rest of their life. And the thing is, according to his brother, Terry, allegedly, he is a victim of sexual abuse.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So he has to deal with that because, as a future mental health professional, I know that people of sexual assault tend to assault others. Because as a child, that's what you know, and that's what you've been taught. So part of it is it's a mental health issue. You can't help it. But he's smart enough to know that it is wrong. And you have to care enough about people to seek help and to stop destroying people's lives.
I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't think me individually, I just don't think I'm in a position to judge anyone.
Well, none of us are. None of us are. None of us are the creator. We cannot judge. However, we're smart. We have a brain. We have been given dominion. We can use our brain.
I mean, okay. I just think that the shit is kind of like, I don't know. It's just like kind of, I think it's kind of extreme when you get to the point of, I don't know. I mean, on one end, I was about to say it's extreme for people to not judge but punish people by their own merit and deny someone an avenue to make a living and eat. But his nature of business depends on the public. So a lot of it is on public perception. But with that said also too, I just don't think people are in a position, if you don't support them, that's cool, but I don't think that people should say their own personal opinion to say, oh, you should do it also too. And if you do, it's like you're morally invalid also.
Corrupt.
Yeah, corrupt because you listening to some, that's the part of it that I'm getting at. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna.
So you did not agree when Jada Pinkett put out her post about why is R. Kelly's music having an uptick in sales after the series came out. You did not agree with her doing that on her platform.
No, I didn't hear about it. I heard vaguely. I've been hearing like Erykah Badu. Like you didn't hear that. I've been hearing like different stars and people having opinions, but I don't know specifically what she said. So what did she say?
She just was questioning why was his music having an uptick in sales after that weekend.
Because you know what happens? People say this, his name just buzzing, and then when you Google R. Kelly, that fucking music come up, and that fucking music is undeniable when it come up. You just listen, you look at the fucking victims and all that shit, and then a motherfucker may say, oh, he been talking about that shit in these other music, and then you listen to that. He is who he is. You can't, under no circumstances, I don't give a fuck what nobody say or how much you support him or don't support him.
Yeah, I agree. He made good music. She made good music.
Yeah, you can't deny what God gave him.
Correct.
You know, that shit is undeniable. And my thing is that the same way I'm not gonna judge him, the people who don't support his shit and don't, mute R. Kelly, I'm not gonna judge them. You don't want to listen to him, fine. Don't listen to him. If I'm in your car and some shit come on, you like, man, fuck dude, and I ain't fucking with him. Fine, I'm in your car. But don't get in my motherfucking car and I'm bumping them and be like, man, you supporting this? Man, I'm listening to some music. Period. I'm listening to some music I like. So that's the part of the game that, I'm talking about. Like, you do your shit, I do mine. It's the same way, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's my point of view. That's why I'm saying. Huh?
It's a thin line.
Yeah, I agree.
And Black people are definitely experiencing some confusion or heartache or whatever about his music. Because I was over some friend's house a weekend or two ago, and Alexa was playing, I think it was Luther Vandross Station.
Not Alexa.
But then our Kelly song came on.
Uh-huh.
And we all, paused. And we didn't know what to do. We didn't know if we should sing along or if we should tell Alexa to skip.
Now that's some weird shit.
So ultimately, some of us was in one room and then another person was in another room. We were having a debate about it in the kitchen, and the person in the living room said, Alexa, skip. And so Alexa
skipped it.
Went on, skipped it, and another R. Kelly song came on.
Right, because his shit can go on for days. She can keep skipping and it'll be R. Kelly. What about this? What about 12 play? Okay, let's step in the name of love.
The person got agitated and got up, went closer to Alexa, and was like, Alexa, skip. As if Alexa knew that R. Kelly had done some foul shit, and Alexa should already know not to be playing his stuff, and especially on Luther's station. But us in the kitchen, which I will say happens to be women, and the person happens to be a man that made Alexa skip, the women, were like, I don't know, that song was the bomb.
Right, that shit coming on, and y'all like, shit, this is my shit.
Yes. And we started talking about what we were doing in life when that song came on, who we were dating, or, whatever. It just took us back, and then we felt guilty. And then we kind of felt relieved when a gentleman said to Alexa to skip.
You know what?
Because once it was over, and once she skipped twice, the conversation was over. But we were feeling some kind of way. And it's hard.
You know
because
what?
I too have enjoyed R. Kelly's music, but I am such an advocate for women.
I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking anyone, and I understand. You know, I understand. You know, I'm not gonna say I understand. I respect it. Just the fact that you may be, you know, you're advocate, and not only that, you stand a certain ground, and you just not fucking with it. And you know, I respect that. You know, I'm not denying that. But one of the things is, especially in his case, especially with artists of his stature, he's so tortured. And I'm not rationalizing or whatever. I'm just saying, for someone who creates music and a music lover, you being a music lover, you will understand this also too. When someone creates and so tortured and that shit in them like that, when you listen to it, you feel that shit because it's coming from a place. You know he fucked up. He make It's like when motherfuckers like when Mary J. Blige was on drugs and her shit sounded better. You know, when people come from a place and they be writing music, that shit therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? For them. And when you listening to
Yeah.
it, that shit
Yeah.
therapeutic for you. So it's not really it's not it's another side of your brain. When the shit come on, automatically y'all gonna talk about what y'all doing because it's not something to me it just go against the grain of what you feel. Like you be somewhere, it's just like when your shit come on, you just your body move. You know what I'm saying? Your shit come on,
Uh-huh.
it ain't no thought to it. That's what music does. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, you just naturally fighting against some shit that's natural when you just say when that dude shit come on and you not grooving into it. If you groove with it. Some people, you know, to your surprise or to my surprise, just don't like his music, or it may have been based on that, or it just been based on, man, you know, I heard a few motherfuckers, man, I just don't fuck with him. And when I heard that shit, they just turned off that part of their brain. But the people who really listen to his music and like it, it's just kind of hard not to fuck with that shit if you fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Just because he
Yeah.
done some shit. You know, so I don't know. You know, that's just my perspective on it. You know, I've been holding off or having an opinion this way or that way, you know, and I definitely wish the best for the victims. You know what I'm saying? The alleged victims. You have to, if you posting some shit and you general and you don't want it for defamation and this and this and the other. The man beat his case. Bullshit ain't about nothing. Right now, it's his word against theirs. You know what I'm saying?
He beat his case and he settled a lot of cases.
True.
And that's what one of the families said. One of the families said he won his case. So I didn't think anything of it because he beat the case.
Mm-hmm. But after that surviving shit came out, his rep sent out like, oh, he denies all allegations. So it's like right now it's his shit against their shit. As far fetched as motherfuckers like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody really believing that shit, but you know, justifiably. So if I'm just sitting up here saying he did this or that or his victims or this and the other, I can't bear false witness because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off their story and going and just using what does they call it? An educated guess. You know what I'm saying? Based off his history. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, but did I tell you was the best?
You did not tell me that today.
You the best.
Thank you. You are too.
Thanks.
I appreciate the dialogue.
Yeah.
I appreciate your perspective, although I may not agree with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the perspective.
Word. Yeah, vice versa, you know, and like I said, I've been recording this and it's been general, you know, but I definitely wanted to I thought with it being down in Atlanta that, that'd have been shit that y'all done had like 2, 3 days before we had it. You know what I'm saying? That y'all knew about it, but that's Atlanta too. That shit probably occurred. Motherfuckers probably fucking on the dance floor every weekend, and we don't know shit about it.
No, that's not true. We don't get down like that in
Atlanta. Okay.
We don't make it a norm to violate people in front of other people.
Okay. And you know what? In y'all defense, it's some freaky motherfuckers down there, but I've been down there and I done saw, like I said, it's the first place I went where motherfuckers rocking butt naked in the nude, as Bernie Mac would say. But I haven't saw that before. You know what I'm saying, down there. And I have saw other shit, in different spots. I've been in major cities, so I'm not gonna, say that, but let's not front like.
Yeah, because freaky people are everywhere.
Yeah, but no.
However, people in Atlanta are definitely more free outwardly, showing their freakiness or, how eccentric they are and all of that.
Amen.
When it crosses the line, it's a problem. When it crosses the line of disrespect, violation, and criminal, that's where it stops. That's the problem.
Hey, the way you just described it, Mayor Keisha and the citizens of Atlanta will appreciate your description of the defendant. That was a great politically correct way to describe y'all freakiness down there. And their freakiness down there. I'm not going to put you in that category. But yeah.
Thank you.
But me as being a frequent visitor ATL, I already know what it is. And I think that's a great description of it. And yeah, you're right. I mean, fucking right is right.
We are the #1 city with, as the last time I heard, the highest HIV and AIDS,
Oh yeah, that's without a doubt. But and hold on.
So,
what?
Part of that is the obsession with sex.
No, I mean, hold on. I'm gonna say this, and it is what it is. But part of that is the big ass fucking, gay community down there. Motherfuckers say what they want and say, yeah, this and the other. That should not necessarily link with, because I know it was a report some years ago that black women was the highest growing number of group that are becoming HIV or whatever the case. And this was some years ago that I heard this. But a lot of that has to do with them fucking dudes just fucking other men. This is just my, motherfuckers say what they want to say. I'm not going to be politically correct about that shit. I don't think that it's a coincidence. I think it's a direct correlation between y'all being, not y'all, but the city being so fucking gay friendly with the fucking high rate of that also too. And so many fucking men being just crossing over, you know what I'm saying? Doing men and women, and I think
being greedy and being, bisexual and not disclosing their status.
That's my whole point. That's the whole down low shit. So I mean, I think it's a direct. Rest in peace, Pimp C. Pimp C was talking about that shit before he died. It was a radio when he came and he just shitted on the whole Atlanta. It was like, man, look at all the gay shit y'all got down there and all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people kind of felt that in the other. So I just think, I'm not going to be politically correct about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the whole world freaky and all that shit, but come on, man. It's like we got to get that shit together down there. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not finna get into that. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole different subject. And, I'm not scared of them, but, that whole community will get on your ass for even inferring this and this and the other. But it is what it is. If one was in front of my face, I say that shit in front of them. But it's, you know, it is what it is. But you know, I think a lot of it has to do, you know, along that lines. But back to your statement, which was our original purpose of talking. You know, I think that you gave a great description of the city. It's a beautiful city, and like you said, motherfuckers freaky everywhere. Y'all more you know, and you know, with artistic and you know being such a big entertainment hub, you know, people gonna have more expression down there. So, you know, that's one way to rationalize that. And regardless of that, like you said, it has no bearing or no justification of people being violated and disrespected. You know what I'm saying? No matter if they straight, gay, or fucking animal. You know what I'm saying? That shit not cool. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
So we agree on that. You know, we agree on that, baby. You know, so yeah, that shit. Yeah, that shit wasn't cool. You know, and you know, it is what it is. You know, hopefully there's some consequences to that shit. And I don't know. And I don't understand. People are
I hope
criminal.
people think when people are in situations or in the proximity or when they are viewing, I hope people think and just think if that was you or if that was your sister, your brother, whoever, what you would like for someone to do. People just need to think and stop going for the entertainment factor all the time and stop recording all the time. Even with the shootings and, you know, other stuff that's going on, people are always recording.
Listen, man. Why did you just hit on what I was talking about? What I was just gonna say. I don't understand why the fuck. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get. First of all, I don't get why. Um, like, I'm just gonna say this here. I don't get the stupidity in people. Not just that. That shit is some whole isolated shit. But first of all, nigga, his criminal act was foul. But nigga, you on live. Why do these younger people, why do people in general incriminate themselves on live? Like these fucking niggas get on fucking social media with 6 guns and be like, well, I'm in jail. Nigga, you was just on it with an AK-47. What the fuck? I would arrest you too. If I know you got this shit.
It's their life. It's their way that they are seeking and receiving attention. They gang everything on live and on social media. It's their life. That's where they get their validation from.
It's the craziest shit in the world, man. Like, I don't understand it.
Followers.
That's crazy. Like, I come from an era where, first of all, people shied away from that shit, especially the hustlers and the criminals. Like, nigga, I ain't finna take no picture. You crazy, motherfucker. Ain't finna take no nothing unless you get the old school club poses. You know what I'm saying? With motherfuckers in the club and you know the old school pictures with motherfucker flex in the club and real niggas didn't want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, man, it's like who?
Oh, it's on the news now.
Oh, you see it on the news?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh, it happened Saturday.
So yesterday was Sunday. It was just, oh, okay. We right on time, man. We right on time. Like, just discussing this. We, like, right on point with the news. Thank you for participating in Black Truth News, our vlog. Our first vlog of 2019.
Yes. We're current. Within the 48-hour news cycle.
Yes. And I need to...
It says, begin receiving calls about Facebook Live video that appears to show a woman being sexually assaulted in a local nightclub. Our special victims unit has made contact with the victim, and an investigation into the situation is open.
Now the
And
thing,
she's saying she's okay.
that's what she. Oh, they saying that on the news that she said okay, she okay.
I guess, like you said, she posted something and said, "I'm okay."
Right, right. Oh yeah. I saw that shit.
So now I turned the volume down, but she was saying, so I think she was saying that the girl is cooperating with police.
I mean, on one end, yeah, that fucking social media shit and recording shit is one thing, whereas um, it's stupid on incriminating and people recording everything. But on the other end, just think about all the fucking shit that people been caught on camera, like with the police brutality and all that. So I guess it's a helpful tool. It's a yin and a yang to it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
right.
I think I think in her circumstance, with it being viral, I don't think that if it would have went otherwise and it was just another era, she would have took that on the chin and just would have been held that to her chest. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit happened to her like that. But the fact that it's just been so fucking huge right now, you know what I'm saying? And she fucking on it.
When the Me Too movement came out, I'll just say not too long ago, I was having conversations with other women, and we were saying the same thing. Like, if we think about some of the things that has happened to us, like on our job, out in public, in the club, whatever, I mean, there could really be some Me Too movement actions going on. But I think we were just like, oh, that's men, or, that's what happens, when you're an attractive woman, men just do that. And we just like go on and proceed with our day.
No,
and never thought about it, being a Me Too movement or whatever.
I always said,
but there's so many situations that we have recognized that we've been in that were just totally disrespectful. I mean, and we may have checked the person at the time, but in this climate now, we could really affect people's lives in a negative way.
Well, I'm gonna say this. First and foremost, I'm gonna say this, and I said this before, probably to Me Too, but I probably emphasized it when it came out. I think sexism in general, fuck the Me Too movement, because I think half of it is bullshit. I think a lot of it is bandwagon, and a lot of women are jumping on board, and a lot of people have been getting incriminated. Unfairly, and I think a lot of people, like with anything, I think some women are taking advantage of it. But with that said, I think sexism is the biggest problem, more than racism and anything else. I think sexism is huge. I really do. I think not necessarily the act of it, but the mind state of in regards to the way society thinks in regards to women. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just natural. I think we just brought up in that, you know what I'm saying? And, I think it transcends, with racism, it may be isolated to different races or this and the other. But sexism transcends color. That shit is in every race. You know what I'm saying? Where you could pick a race and that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a level. It exists. So I think it's bigger than that. But like I said, I have a personal thing with the Me Too shit. I got personal shit that I was thinking with the Cosby shit. I got. I mean, all the way around the board, I think people are gonna take advantage of shit. I got personal shit with the R. Kelly. When I say personal, it's just like it's certain shit that I be like, oh yeah, people on bullshit, and there's certain people that take advantage of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was people in the wrong. Yeah, but I think certain people um, have taken advantage of that movement and used it to their advantage, and some of them just riding the bandwagon, and just riding the wave. I think, like anything else, I think you got trailblazers and pioneers, and I think initially, it's a lot of women and a lot of other people in other movements who just there for the right cause, and there's just some people who just own it because it's the cool thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So.
So, are you insinuating that some people are really not victims, and because this has become a thing, they want to attach themselves to it for what? Yeah. Financial gain or what?
Because it's just the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And also, not only.
To gain what? Why would people be attaching themselves to it? What would they be gaining?
And as a lack of better term, and as the kids would say, clout chasing. Just to be a part of some shit. Just to be like, oh yeah, this happened to me. Or yeah, this, people follow us. You had some women who stuck their neck on the line with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Who went out there, who didn't get the recognition. And now you got women who benefiting from this shit just because it's the cool thing to do. Just because you got some women who's been in the workplace who got violated, and then you got some women who was being flirtatious and being receptive to getting advances from dudes and took advantage of it, who used their body in order to advance within their workplace and knew very well what they was doing. And now they turn around and saying they getting assaulted. That shit is unfair. You can't have both sides of the table. You can't goddamn it use, that to your advantage and then turn around and say you're a victim. That shit unfair. You know what I'm saying? And some women have done that. You know what I'm saying? Some women are very aware of what they're doing, and it takes away from women like yourself who gets degrees and works hard and knowledgeable about certain shit. It's certain women who then fuck their way up to the top and literally knew that they wanted to fuck themselves to the top. And we cannot be naive and ignorant to that also, neither. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
So I mean, it go both ways. But with that said, it's the same way, like I said, with everything else. There's some women who know the fuck what they was doing with R. Kelly, but then again, it doesn't, that's what I mean by the Me Too. It's like, it doesn't rationalize and justify the harassment and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take away from the cause. It's just, I think right now it just grew to the point, that your shit is more cosmetic than more than what it may be intentioned to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So
okay.
That's my whole point. It doesn't take away what the intention is to be, but when the shit grows, people just latch on, and you like, oh yeah, me too. Come on, man. You know what the fuck you was doing when you was doing it. So let's not be stupid. And like you said, that goes along with the, and hopefully guys will be more, intelligent about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we can't. Sometimes it's the power of the woman. Sometimes you just see that shit and you be like, you just dumb out. And that shit, you got consequences to it, man. So, niggas wise up. That's my message to, to myself and everybody else. But, hopefully, like you said, people start thinking with their, with their big head or whatever. But, like I said, to go back to it, regardless, that's why I said prior to the Me Too and all that shit, I ain't gonna say always, but as you get older, you kind of realize, because I don't know, I don't equate black people's plight with racism. A lot of shit ain't racism, if you ask me. I think our shit is a direct correlation to oppression and a deliberate, certain people, races go through racism. We don't have that situation. Our shit is a direct, our shit is unique. So, a lot of people, this racism, nah, there's a lot of, you got some Asians and Native Americans who go through racism, and Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? And blacks also, too.
You believe what? That there was a deliberate conspiracies to keep us oppressed.
This shit here, you remember when we was talking about the religion? Our shit is so unique, it can only be designed. It gotta be up from above. This shit gotta be. You can't name no other race that we go through. This shit, mass incarceration, genocide, slavery. You can't. That's why when people, because if you minimize black people situation to racism, people could jump onto it and it diminishes the comparison, because if you just say racism, you can have Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, the LGBT community, and this is what happens too. A lot of people, you know, feel some type of kinship to black people when they experience racism, and nah, nigga, you can't walk, you can't put my skin on. You know what I'm saying?
So when they say they experience discrimination.
Yeah, you ain't discriminate, and that's why I said this. That's why I said sexism is bigger than racism, because they right. It's not like they haven't been experienced discrimination and racism. They have, but that's unique and isolated or whatever. But sexism is all across the board, and black people shit is. And when I say black people, I don't mean people of color. And Africans, I mean niggas. It's a difference, and a lot of people shy away from that word. I mean niggas, us, motherfuckers who was brought here in America and these different places through these slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Our shit is unique, and you can't find no other race that been through it or what we've been through. That's period. I don't give a fuck how people describe it or nothing. They cannot equate their situation with ours. Period. And it's beyond racism. It's a deliberate oppression, and it's a deliberate mind state. Ain't nobody get treated worse than the niggas in this country. You can find motherfuckers come over here every day and get treated than motherfuckers niggas who been here their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Period. You cannot go into a fucking place and black folks and people just think the worst of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this, and it's a learned behavior, because people.
Which is what I was saying about the black woman.
I agree with that. I understand what you were saying, but I was kind of just looking at it from the perspective of black on black, as opposed to, because if you're saying, now I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. Let me say that.
But no one else has our story. No one else has struggled in the way that we have. And even those who say that they have, like Holocaust victims, they got reparations.
Man.
So in some form or some way, they were given an apology. And they were given an apology in a monetary kind of way.
Speak on it, sister. And you know what? You know the kicker? They can go find a fucking Nazi member, right? He could be 120. He could be 120 years old, living in a fucking sewer. If they found out that motherfucker was in the Nazi, that motherfucker would get persecuted in 2019 for that shit. Right now.
Correct.
Like right now. They were like, I don't give a fuck, he finna die tomorrow. We finna persecute him today. He finna go to court. You finna go for war crimes, whatever. In 2019. You know what I'm saying? They would do that. If they find one living Nazi, or they find one motherfucker who, you know what I'm saying, had any association, who had some Nazis at their fucking crib and had them for dinner, they going to court tomorrow, today.
Hate crime.
Hate crime. This shit is going to happen. Now, I agree with you totally. You know what I'm saying? I already know about that shit. So that's why I said that, you know what I'm saying, sexism supersedes all the other shit. When people might say racism is hurting, nah. You know what I'm saying? Don't put, because a lot of people will just say racism with the black and white. Nah, that black and white shit is different. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't racism. That is fucking, that's genocide. That's fucking a curse. That's, you know what I'm saying, oppression. That shit is beyond whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother level of that shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why I put that. And outside of that, like I said, sexism is shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit a mind state. You know what I'm saying? And that's why too. That's why I said, because people shit on Trump, and he what else? Okay, but I thought he was the best. He is the best representation of America, the sickness of it. When he said grab a woman by the pussy and all that, this is America. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to look in the mirror. But he's a puck tweeting everything we are, he is. And people, I don't see where they hate coming from. You know what I'm saying? He's the most honest, fucking fucked up description of
Because
him.
people want to hide it.
Exactly.
People want to ignore that this country has that type of division. People do not want to expose and or accept that there are millions of people with that same mindset.
They don't want to do, and you know what? It's just not it's not new. Shit, like you said, he just came up and he just came on, and a lot of people, that's why I said with the grab your pussy and all this here, that shit just not white rednecks. That shit, that's men. That's the sexism I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's locker room. That's the locker room talk. Yeah, that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when he come up and I'm appalled and that shit, you hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't been in the locker room, yeah, I smacked on the ass and come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, he just putting that shit in, you know what I'm saying, and everything down to him for him having a fucking wife who poses naked, and all this. It's fucking you and Kanye get along. His wife pose naked. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, ain't nobody trying to get no wholesome, ain't nobody trying to get no Michelle Obamas. They trying to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything about him is a representation of America, and
Of America, yep.
And I mean, people don't fuck with him, and I just says like, man, the dude is. First of all, he's ignorant as fuck. He says some dumb and just. But I respect the fact that he tells you he's fucked up, and I'd rather instead of him coming up all polished and smiling in front of my face, I'd rather know that you ain't shit, and you telling me you ain't shit before rather than a motherfucker just coming up and acting like they something that they not. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't hide his ignorance. That's why I fuck with him. And he's quite entertaining. He's quite entertaining too.
Because he's narcissistic. That's why it's all about him.
Yeah.
And so he does not. What are you gonna do? He's in the highest position in the highest land. What are you going to do to him? He can say whatever he wants, as ignorant as it is, to the highest level.
Now I'm gonna tell you this.
What are you going to do?
If that ain't American, what it is? If you take an average motherfucker and make him president, what motherfucker ain't gonna walk down the street if they got Secret Service and just be talking shit, walking the bar and smack? He just what he is. He ain't want no politician and nothing. He Trump. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And he's not changed. This is the same person who he was. Like the presidency didn't change him, and he became this way. He's been this way.
Man,
he's been ruthless, a ruthless businessman.
Just worse, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, man. That when I think he came, that's why I be trying to tell people. I'm like, man, he's a racist. And I'm like, that's another thing where like. That's what I'm talking about with that racism thing. One be like, yeah, he's a racist. I'm like, man, y'all don't get it, man. He ain't the one. He telling you, you know what I'm saying? I've been around them type of people before, them white folks. That ain't really no, you know what I'm saying? They're a threat, but when they let you know what it is, you kind of can be prepared. Knowledge is like G.I. Joe. Knowledge is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that ain't no threat. The threat is that you know what I'm saying? That's what Malcolm X talk about. That, you know what I'm saying? That that systematic oppression. The motherfuckers in them positions who smiling with you, them liberals who be margin with you and all this and the other, and fucking coming up with them laws and statutes that fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's that Clinton who fucking, yeah, he our black president, but he fucking studying them laws. He could put niggas in that crack cocaine for 35 years. They still locked up. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote about the food stamp thing that Trump is implementing comes from the Clinton administration. Clinton came up with a lot of fucked up statute that directly, when I say directly affected black people, and it was tended to fuck with the poor and the black people. The food stamp shit that Trump is applying, that shit was initiated under Clinton. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and the crack shit, the crack and powder cocaine shit, all that shit under Clinton, and he on the Centennial Hall and smiling and all that. I'm like, come on, man, and people all. I was like, man, black folks need to wise up. Ain't none of that shit. That shit is a fucking continuation of, like I said, systematic oppression that we getting the short end of the stick, and it's crazy, man. But I just want to say once again, thank you for coming on the vlog. I'm gonna cut this off because I want to talk personal with you, and we've been general.
Thank you.
This has been general, but I want to hear about your day, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, we out. This shit has been just crazy right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to chop this up because we got different subjects on it, and yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. BlackTruth.net.
We out. 2019. We're gonna holler at y'all next time. Miss C, thanks for stopping through, man.